everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Naked Truth. Trisha Hershberger here, and today we have a very special guest joining us. Join me in welcoming Lauren Francesca. Hi, Lauren. How are you today?
Naked.
You are very naked and on my show, and thank you so much for that. Before we go ahead and jump into today's topic, I want to give a big thank you to those of you who sent in Naked Truths last week. That's Jacob, Pat, Nathan, Patricia, Abby, Julia, Lauren, Steve, Prescott and Kristen, Patrick, Liam, Tom, and Jenny. Thank you guys for bearing it all and sharing with us your naked opinions on bad boys and bad girls and the like. You are awesome. But today, Lauren and I are going to talk about something a little bit more light. Today we're going to talk about being funny. Today we're going to talk about comedy, and Lauren's kind of an expert at that. So, Lauren, tell the folks at home who don't know who you are what you do.
Well, I'm very uncomfortable right now. You told me I'd be uncomfortable, but now I'm feeling it. Actually, like it actually happening. I'm sitting here naked right now. My dog was like, he's like watching me get out of the shower, getting all nervous because he's just like, where is she gonna go? And then I'm like sitting on my couch. He's just like, what is she doing? My dog thinks I'm nuts. But anyway.
Just be like ready to walk outside naked.
I have been on YouTube making videos for like 7 years. Like, lots and lots of big people's YouTube channels. I was on Key of Awesome, College Humor, Steve Cardinals, Shane Dawson's videos, and it's really awesome. I get to a lot of time do parodies of big pop stars. And I have my own YouTube channel, which is called I Want My Lauren.
Yay! And so on your own YouTube channel, you do like how-to beauty stuffs and funny stuffs. And so tell me, in your opinion, what is funny?
Well, what is funny a lot of the times for me is something that's relatable. Like, people can look at it and put themselves in that situation, but then there's usually like a punchline, like the thing in life that makes you laugh about it. And when you're writing a joke, you usually have to do like a setup for the joke, and then you do the punchline, which is like the reverse of the setup. And that is a big part of comedy for me.
Okay, so explain to me a little bit more about what you mean when you say like the setup and the punchline being relatable.
A lot of times I like to do relationship kind of sketches. So one of the videos I did was like how to get your boyfriend's attention during the Super Bowl. And it was just different funny.
Wait, oh my God, how do I do that?
It's at the end of the video we realize it's impossible.
So would you say that you find like everyday life funny?
Oh, totally. Totally funny and ironic humor, definitely.
How about being naked on the internet? Is that funny?
It's really funny, and I can't even think of something smart to say because I'm just like, I'm naked, and if I move, like, you're totally gonna have my nipples on camera, and I'm just like, okay, I have to stay, and I'm trying to look into the lens, but then I'm looking down like, oh my God, like this could happen right now.
That was my problem for the first like several vlogs that I did because I was using the viewfinder on my phone. That's what I was filming with, and I kept wanting to look at the camera and not the viewfinder. But I was like, there's going to be a nipple. There's going to be a nipple, and then I'm going to have to go back and refilm the whole thing. But luckily for us today, this is not live, and I will edit it, so you don't have to worry about it. So would you say that you have a similar sense of humor or a different sense of humor to someone like Phil or other tubers that you watch?
Yeah, I think my sense of humor is similar. I don't talk about politics as much just because I don't know if it's the difference of an audience, but once you're kind of, if you go too right or too left, people always have their own opinions, and I don't like to aggravate people, and my views on like women's kind of issues and a lot of the man's views on my channels about women's issues are very, very different. So, but I'm sure they'll love this video.
Yeah, well, hopefully. So do you think that there's such a thing as a weird sense of humor, or do you give validity to all people's versions of funny?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is validity to all people's senses of funny, and I think there are some like weird, more artistic kinds of funny that I really relate to. I just posted a video like that today. It's kind of a very weird sense of humor, and a lot of the comments are just like, oh my God, what is this? So I like to experiment and do like weird kind of offbeat things at the same time as like more conventional types of humor that my viewers like. Like a lot of my viewers like very slapstick, sexy kind of parody humor.
Sure. Well, who doesn't? It's the internet.
Yes. Yes. And sometimes I like to do a little bit more artistic kind of stuff that you'd probably see on like Vimeo. So
Okay.
that's the thing you have to juggle with having an audience who watches you every week and then having other things you want to do. It's kind of like when big actors in movies, they kind of have like their passion projects, which are like the really weird indie films, and then they have their romantic comedies that I really love to watch.
So you have to do the stuff for them, like stuff for them, stuff for them, stuff for me. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, exactly.
I totally get it. And speaking of stuff for you, you just recently got into Vine, yeah? And you're like incredibly successful so far. How long have you been a Viner?
About a week now. I'm very excited. It's been maybe a week and a half, and I just started doing it. I was really excited because I started doing it, and then my friend Steve, who I've known for years, Steve Cardinal, called me up, and he's doing a new Vine series, and he's like, I want you to play my girlfriend in all these Vines, and I was just like, oh my god, of course, like, cool.
Yeah, fantastic. I sure will do that. Thank you.
Yeah, so I have a lot of really cool stuff coming out and projects that I'm working on, and I'm excited about it. What's your comedy thing? Like, what's your favorite kind of comedy?
See, well, this is why I'm asking you all these questions about, like, would you give validity to, like, weird senses of humor kind of stuff? Because I've always kind of felt like the oddball man out. Like, yes, there's weird comedy like Tim and Eric, and I wouldn't necessarily say that's my sense of humor. I'm more of, like, kind of a cheesy, like, clumsy, funny happens by accident person. And so I have a lot of respect and admiration for people that can turn on the funny. And so it's just kind of fascinating to me to hear about how you go about doing that, how you find your funny. Like, how much do you think that comedy is learned, and how much do you think people are born with comedy?
Well, I think everything is something you have to work on. There are some people out there that I'm friends with, and you kind of like some of my friends, they're just like they're like, oh my god, this person is amazing, like and you know they're like 18 or 19 and now they're on SNL, and it's like they work really hard.
Right.
Whatever you do, you still have to work really hard, but I feel like, well, maybe if I worked just as hard, I'm not sure where I would be. So I think it's a lot of like natural ability plus hard work plus luck. I feel like luck is a huge factor in how much you're willing to kind of go out there and do the hard work. Because like I've just experienced through like the waves of the internet. It's like, oh, I'll do this awesome video, it'll go viral. But then like 3 months later, it's like, oh, what are you doing now? And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to do another viral video.
Yeah. How does one make a viral video?
Yeah.
I don't know. Jimmy Kimmel's been relatively successful at making viral videos on purpose, but everybody else that I know, it's a little tougher than that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's if you're trying to make one happen, most likely it's not going to happen, kind of thing. And it's really cool, and I'm really fortunate to kind of be in the space of YouTube, because I feel like right now is the perfect time to be a content creator if you already have an audience, because right now a lot of, like, I feel like, I don't know if you have Roku, but I feel like every single company now has like an online streaming thing. Like there's like Cosmo and like Amex. I was like looking on like my Roku, and it's like, download the Amex for the new Amex content. I'm like, Amex making shows too now?
Cool.
Yeah.
So what would you say for people who they don't want to get into comedy professionally, but they're just having a hard time, like, kind of finding their place in the world of comedy? Like, people who maybe not only don't know how to find the funny within themselves, but people who aren't really sure what they think is funny in other people. What would you say to those people to kind of help them find their funny, if you will?
I think it's all a matter of confidence, because I think that anyone can be funny. And if you work on something, you'll be able to be good. You can work with writers, you can work with coaches, and for some you'll be able to find something. But it's mainly confidence, and it's like, okay, I'm going to wake up this morning and I'm going to feel confident that I'm going to create something and I'm going to make people laugh. Because if you're thinking in your head that that, oh my God, this isn't funny and blah, blah, blah. It might not be funny, or it might be really funny because you might just mess up and fall on your face, and then people will be laughing at that. But there are all kinds of ways. I suggest just getting out there, going behind your camera, and just working on either shooting yourself or going in classes. And if you can't afford classes, there's all kinds of local theaters that you could join, and other people that you can work with.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think you really hit on something when you said, like, you wake up and you're like, you know what, today I want to make people laugh. I would assume that it's probably very helpful, instead of thinking, oh, the pressure's on me, I have to be funny, to think, I'm going to make other people laugh. So you take it off of yourself and put it on other people. I would imagine that that helps to some degree.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because it's all like people have their matter of their opinion. So even if it's not funny, it's like whatever. Like, that's their opinion. If one person doesn't think it's funny, another person will. Like, that's just like the law of numbers.
Well, that's a nice way to think of it. So every funny is funny to someone, I guess.
Yes.
So who would you say is your #1 funny person out there right now?
Currently, I mean, it's so hard. There's so many. I mean, Amy Schumer is probably one of the funniest people out there right now. And then my friend Pete Davidson, who just got an SNL, like, he's so talented and like.
Yay! Friends working.
He's like the second youngest person since Eddie Murphy, so kind of amazing. I also love Josh Peck. Somebody else.
Okay.
I went to high school with him, so I'm like all these people, like I like them all, like root for my friends kind of thing. But
absolutely, again, we'll repeat, yay for friends working.
But yeah, I mean, I like, in terms of women who have influenced me, like Carol Burnett is one of the most amazing people in comedy. Joan Rivers, of course.
I'm a big I Love Lucy fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge I Love Lucy fan.
I like the whole idea of, you know, that Lucy did especially well, and I mean the times were different then, but I like the being, I think that there's something to say for being funny without being overtly crass. Not that I don't enjoy overtly crass humor, because South Park is one of my favorite shows on TV, and I love Archer, and I certainly enjoy that humor, but I also think that there's another skill set, or just a different means of focusing on completely, like, family-friendly comedy. And I honestly, I don't know how they do it. It's very hard for me to make a video where I'm genuinely very emotional without letting an F-bomb or something fly out. So kudos to, you know, people like Ellen DeGeneres is usually very clean, and Lucille Ball. And yeah, to me, it just feels like a whole different brand of comedy. What about for you, Lauren?
Like, if I'm working for a brand and there's a big budget, I'll get a team of writers and we'll sit down and we'll write something, and then I have to say, well, this kind of crosses the line of the 13-year-old people who may be watching the videos.
Mm-hmm. Do you purposefully try to work with or not to work with certain brands that you feel like really aren't your style of humor?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, I love to work with people who I actually like the project. Like, there's certain things I'll say no to, and it sucks. And generally, it's like, if I really can relate to a job, like a project, if I'm asked to act on it, if I really like the script, I'll do it. Like, I did a horror movie last year that Anchor Bay bought, and I loved the script, and it was really cool. It came out awesome, and I did that, and that took. I had to stop doing videos for like a month and shoot a film. It's like a hard thing to give up, because this is like a weekly thing I do for my YouTube channel, but my main thing that I want to do is just be acting in movies. So it's just those kind of give and takes all the time that you have to put yourself through.
Yeah, I hear you on that. It's very hard to juggle, especially when you're multi-focused.
How do you decide, like, what you want to do and what you don't want to do?
I just try to do it all. Like, I'm still in the phase where I'm like, I will convince myself there's 36 hours in every day and 8 days in every week, and I will make it happen. But, you know, then you run yourself ragged and get sick. But that's just one of, like, my own personality flaws that I struggle with, is that I definitely bite off more than I can chew, and then I have to deal with the aftermath of that. But yeah, I've only had to say no a couple times that I just really couldn't make it work, and I always hate that. Like you said, you know, it stinks, and I haven't had to say no to friends yet. What I usually end up doing is I'm like, I can't now, and I look at my calendar, and I'm like, in about 7 weeks on a Tuesday night, I have these 3 hours free. Can you do that? But even you and I mean, even to get this little hangout together, it was weeks.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I totally love your stuff. And I was watching your videos before, as I was getting ready and I was late. And it was so funny because they were on a playlist, and then there was, I guess I'm hearing it in the background as I'm trying to set up boxes to put my laptop on so you don't see myself naked. And it's you're talking about how you're the most organized out of all your friends, and how you have to organize and have a app. And I'm thinking oh, I should really stop setting up right now and listen to this video because I really need this advice.
I can help you get organized anytime you want.
Oh, you have no idea. I'm so disorganized. It's so bad.
Well, despite your disorganization, you've managed to have an amazing career. You have a beautiful, flourishing YouTube channel. You work as an actress very frequently, and now you've got this budding Vine channel. So what would you say to everybody who's watching this that's thinking, maybe I want to make people laugh for a living? What would you say to those folks?
I would say just do it. A lot of times we wait, or we try to perfect what we're doing, and we just don't do it, and then you just procrastinate, and then you never end up doing what you want to do. And I think that the most important thing in life is time and speed of implementation. How do you say that word?
Implementation?
Speed of implementation. That's it. Because if you wait and you think of things and you're trying to obsess over it, you're just procrastinating actually doing it and actually achieving what you want to do. So if you want a career in comedy, just do it, basically.
Just do it. You heard Lauren, guys. Work hard. My question to the Naked Army and to the community for today's episode is, what is funny to you? What do you find funny, and why? And how do you go about putting that into your life? So let me know that stuff in the comments below. Please feel free to send your own Naked Truth vlog response if you want to do that. Remember, shoulders up only, please. And if you are under 18, make sure to ask your parents so that they know what you're doing. They don't bust in the room while you're naked in front of your webcam, because that's a no-no. And a big thank you to Lauren Francesca for being here with us today. Thank you, Lauren. And Lauren, if people want to see more of your stuff, where can they find you again?
YouTube.com/IWantMyLauren.
And on your Vine?
Lauren Francesca. Lauren Francesca is Vine. YouTube and Snapchat is I Want My Lauren.
Awesome. Well, Lauren, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week.
Bye. Thank you, Trisha.
Bye.